Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and ladies and gentlemen, Canelo Alvarez, one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the sport today. A future Hall of Famer, first ballot future Hall of Famer. One of the best resumes in the sport today. Remarkable record of 61 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, 39 knockouts. Undisputed king at 168. Former junior middleweight world champion. Has been in there with Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, Josecito Lopez, Austin Trout, Floyd Mayweather, Alfredo Pedro Angulo, Charlo, one of the Charlos, Sergey Kovalev, Yildirim, Gennady Golovkin 3 times, Liam Smith, Rocky Fielding. He's been in there, and last but not least, in his last outing against Jaime Munguia in an all-Mexican showdown. You know, it was a good fight. But Canelo Alvarez, he's a future Hall of Famer, man. One of the best resumes in the sport today. The current and reigning 168-pound undisputed champion of the world. And based on word out there that he will be fighting Britain's own Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr., a lot of people saying is a cherry pick. And I understand why, because Chris Eubank Jr. fights at 160. He doesn't fight at 168. Canelo Alvarez has not fought at 168. Has not fought at 160 for some time now, and based on wording that he's getting ready to fight Chris Eubank Jr., who's naturally a 160-pounder, or even below that. Canelo Alvarez used to fight there, but that's a long time ago. Canelo has been naturally, for some time now, at 160 and above. You know, he's been at those heavyweights for some time. So Canelo Alvarez defending likely his 168-pound undisputed crowns against 160-pound Chris Eubank Jr., who will be going up in weight 8 pounds more to fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, that's why it's a cherry pick. Now, Chris Eubank Jr., on the other hand, is a good fighter. He is a good fighter. Very good boxer puncher, very skilled, good right uppercut, excellent physique, tremendous conditioning and stamina. And if you look at his track record, if you look at his resume, he has one of the best resumes in the sport today. He's been in there with a lot of sharks. He's been in there with Billy Joe Saunders. Been a top fighter for some time. You know, hasn't fought since Canelo Alvarez beat him. But he lost that fight to split decision. Then he fought Gary O'Sullivan. We all know him. These are all familiar names I'm mentioning here. He fought Nick Blackwell. He fought Arthur Abraham from Germany. Former world champion, all that good stuff. Yildirim. He fought George Groves. He fought James DeGill, Olympic gold medalist. He's been in there with Badu Jack. He's been in there with George Groves. Tremendous fighter himself. Matt Korobov. And he's been in there with Liam Beefy Smith twice. Got stopped in 4 rounds in the first fight. And then he came back and put on one of the best performances of his career, stopping Liam Smith in the 10th round by TKO. So now here, and that was in September of last year. So this fight is being planned like around September. So it's going to be like a year since Chris Eubank will be fighting when he stepped into that ring against Canelo Alvarez. So likely it will be against Canelo, based on word. So Chris Eubank, 33 wins, 3 losses, 24 knockouts. Tremendous record as well. Good fighter. Never been a world champion. He won the WBA interim middleweight world title. But interim doesn't really count. Just a, secondary strap, just to keep you afloat and keep you in position in line to fight for a world title. So yeah, Canelo Alvarez versus Chris Eubank Jr. is being penciled in, being talked for the fall. And Chris Eubank Jr. is the runner-up to be Canelo Alvarez's next opponent, who is naturally 160, who fights there currently at 160. Who's been in there with all those names I mentioned, all those very, very familiar names. Some of those are elite fighters. Again, Chris Eubank looked tremendous in his last fight against Liam Smith, stopping him, really looking good, sharp, and stopping Liam Smith. And of course, Canelo Alvarez being himself, one of the top fighters in the sport today, one of the face of boxing. Because there's some fighters out there that are still calling themselves the face of boxing, like Gervonta Tank Davis. You can argue that is one of the face of boxing. So there ain't just one face. There's more. So Canelo Alvarez is one of, and again, it's arguable if one of, if not the face of boxing. Canelo Alvarez brings the most draws in pay-per-view. You fight Canelo today, you're gonna make the most money. That's what comes Canelo Alvarez when it's time to fight, and an opponent is being brought up, or someone calls him out. He's like, payday, payday. That's Canelo Alvarez's favorite word to say nowadays. And Chris Eubank, if Chris Eubank is the runner-up and his official opponent, then he is getting that payday, payday. So we'll see what's up with this, man. It's just word. I just want to come out here, sit down and talk about it. And nothing official, nothing concrete, but is the word out there? A lot of people are talking about it. Canelo Alvarez versus Chris Eubank Jr. at 168 pounds for the undisputed titles. At 168 pounds, Alvarez will be defending those titles against Chris Eubank if the fight is likely to happen. If the fight happens. So far, just talk, but it's looking pretty. There's potential here that the fight is going to happen. So let me know what you guys think about this fight. Canelo Alvarez versus Chris Eubank Jr. for Canelo Alvarez's 168-pound undisputed crowns. The thing is, this is an okay fight because Chris Eubank Jr. is coming off a tremendous win. The only flaw here is that it's going up 8 pounds. That's why they're calling it a cherry pick. But the real fight here, at 168 pounds, is Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. That's, I can't call it really an all-Mexican showdown, but it's a Mexican showdown. Because David Benavidez is Mexican, half Colombian, Venezuelan, one of those, Ecuadorian. So, but he calls himself the Mexican Monster. He reps the Mexican flag. He fights Mexican. He's got Mexican in him. So it's going to be a fight between two Mexican fighters. Not an all-Mexican like Canelo versus Munguia. Those were two full-blown Mexican fighters, straight out of Mexico. But it is the fight to be made at 168. Boxing needs it. Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez, the 168-pound undisputed slugfest, fight of the year type of fight. Canelo Alvarez is going to have a big guy in front of him, tall, big, speed, power, coming forward, good chin, looking to bang it out, see what Canelo Alvarez bring. Once he's gonna be in there testing Canelo, making Canelo fight at a fast pace. It's a hell of a fight, of course. It's the fight to make. But right now we got Canelo Alvarez, seems to me, versus Chris Eubank Jr. Let me know what you guys think, like I said, in the comments section of this fight right here. Canelo Alvarez versus Chris Eubank Jr. I want to hear your thoughts on this fight. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Jose Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing right here. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.